Choosing your destinations when you want to plan your Switzerland trip, this is what most of you guys are doing wrong. In this video I'm going to share a lot of tips of how to correctly choose the destinations, so you're going to come up with a perfect Switzerland itinerary. So make sure you watch this video to the end. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zermatt and I'm a Switzerland travel expert. Now let's get started with the first tip. This is your arrival. This already has a major impact on your trip because wherever you're going to arrive in Switzerland, this is going to affect your travel route. So I assume most of you guys are going to arrive to Switzerland by plane, then you're going to reach Switzerland either at Zurich or in Geneva. Of course, we also have other airports, they're not as important. These would be in Basel-Mulhouse and in Lugano. Alternatively, you can also arrive to Switzerland by train, then you're probably going to enter either through Lugano, Basel, Zurich or Schaffhausen, Geneva. Well, wherever you're going to enter Switzerland, I think it is really important for you to stay in the region of where you're going to arrive at first, so your trip is going to start easy. The next thing would be make sure the number of places you want to see is matching with the length of your stay in Switzerland. There's nothing worse than having a short Switzerland trip and you want to see a lot of places. Then you're just going to travel a lot, but you end up not seeing a lot. And I think this is a really bad thing. So here, make sure if you're staying in Switzerland for only a few days, then you can do only little things. And if you're staying in Switzerland for a longer time, well then you can visit more places and more attractions. The next point is quite similar. Try to not see everything. So here, this is my simple rule of thumb. If you try to see everything, I can 100% guarantee you're going to end up seeing nothing. Yes, I know this sounds a bit weird and I understand you want to see a lot when you travel to Switzerland, but this is really a bad idea. If you're going to see a lot of attractions in a short time, then you're actually just going to travel from A to B to C and so on, and you're probably not going to have a lot of time at the places or attractions that you want to visit, but you're mostly just staying in the car, in the train, traveling. And I think this is not a good thing. You probably want to rather maximize your experience, so stay in the places and attractions that you're going to visit longer and limit your traveling time. Because otherwise, it's going to really feel very tiring, and after all, right, you're on holiday, so it should feel energizing. I'm sure all of you're going to travel to actually refuge from the stress that you have in your daily life at work. And if you're actually going to exhaust yourself just by traveling crisscross around the country, then I don't think this is going to be a good itinerary. What's also important, if you're going to visit a lot of attractions, then you have more expenses on your transportation, either on the fuel or on the trains, buses, and even entrance tickets. So if you're actually maximizing your experience, then you'll have less expenses and definitely also you'll have more of your holiday. The next thing would be make sure that whatever you're going to do in your Switzerland trip is matching with your interests. Why would you want to go to a museum when you're not a fan of museum, but probably all of your friends are expecting you to visit that museum? Then simply don't go there. Do all these things that you're interested in. If you want to see the nature, then you probably want to go to the Swiss Alps. If you want to experience the more urban lifestyle of Switzerland, then you probably want to visit rather a city instead of going into the nature, and so on. By the way, I made a similar video like this, which is about the activities that you can do in Switzerland. Over there, I'm sharing all the tips of what kind of activities you can do when you want to visit Switzerland, for example, hiking, visiting glaciers, and so on. So this video, I think, will probably already give you a good idea what you might want to do when you come to Switzerland. And here, this is probably the most important thing. Make sure that you're mapping your Switzerland trip in a smart way. There's nothing worse than when you're traveling crisscross around the country and you're actually doing a lot of redundancies. For example, starting in Zurich, then you go to Geneva, then you go back to Bern, then you go to Interlaken, back to Bern, to go back to Zurich, then to go to Eastern Switzerland. So you already see this sounds just wrong. So here it's really important, map all the places that you want to visit in Switzerland, and here it's really fine if you're mapping too many things because this is still the early stage of your Switzerland trip planning. So Map everything and then start to prioritize what is actually really important to you and what is less important, and then you think about how many days you're going to stay in Switzerland, and I think then you already know how you want to travel. So here it's really important, make sure that you're always traveling forward. So if you're starting in Schaffhausen, then next you can go to Zurich, then you can go to Lucerne, Interlaken, Bern, Montreux, Geneva. This sounds pretty fine, but what if you would do, for example, starting in Schaffhausen, you go to Zurich, then you go to Montreux, then you go to Interlaken, then you go to Lucerne, then you go to Geneva. You see, like you're traveling like that instead of traveling all in one way. And here you would be wasting a lot of time instead of planning smart and then actually saving a lot of unnecessary transportation time and costs and even energy. By the way, here I have a very interesting tool for you. It's a demographic Switzerland map that is powered by Pioneer Maps. Over there you can see all the places in Switzerland where I've produced content for example on Instagram and especially on YouTube. Now when you take that map you can see all these icons, YouTube or even Instagram, and when you click on it you're going to be redirected to the video or post. And this is really cool because especially when it's linked to a YouTube video. For example, I made a video about Zermatt, but there are then different attractions and you can see the different locations. Then you just click on it and you're not only going to be redirected to the right video, but also to the right time code. I think this tool can help you a lot because yes, I'm pretty sure you already know that you want to include Zermatt, but probably don't know how all these locations there, all the attractions are going to look like. And here I think this map is definitely going to be useful for you. You can purchase it, you only need to do that once. I'm ongoingly updating these maps, even after you purchase it. Still, the updates are going to show, so this map is just going to get more and more detailed in the future. Once you bought it, it's all yours. Now the next point, I also find that very important. You need to know where you want to stay more than one night in a place. Especially if your Switzerland trip is going to be longer, I think this is a really good thing because whenever you're going to change location, that means you need to pack your luggage, you need to check out, go to another hotel, check in again. And I think this can be also very tiring and you're going to lose a lot of time. So let's say you're going to Interlaken. There are so many great places you can visit around there. Probably then you want to rather stay more than one night over there. And talking about that, also think about excursions. So if you're staying more than one night in one place, then do things that are actually nearby. So if you're in Interlaken, then you can go to Thun. It's really beautiful. You can go to Lauterbrunnen, Grindelwald, Brienz, Iseltwald, so many great places, and all of them they're within a 1 hour radius. I think this really works best for a day excursion. But what you should not do is you're staying in Interlaken, then you're traveling to the Valle Verzasca and Ticino, you're going again back, and then the next day you're going from Interlaken to Basel and again back to Interlaken. I think this is really not a smart way of how to plan your Switzerland trip. So here it's really important, if you want to travel long, then probably you rather want to stay overnight in the destination that you want to visit next. And now I'm also going to share a personal itinerary that I think could be really cool for you. Should you really have absolutely no idea what you want to do, then think about this. Let's say you're going 3 days to Switzerland. Here I'm sharing an authentic Switzerland trip itinerary. Day 1, you want to visit the urban side of Switzerland. You can go to the cities. They're actually very modern. By the way, we're in Switzerland, another country of farmers. In fact, Switzerland is one of the most innovative countries on earth, and we're also quite modern. Then on day 2, you want to visit the village, so you can see the traditional side of Switzerland. It's also going to be more natural. Maybe you're even having mountains that are surrounding the village. And then day 3, you want to visit the Swiss Alps. You can go up to the summit and you're going to enjoy a fantastic 360 degrees panorama. My favorite lookout points would be Mount Pilatus or Montfort in Verbier. And now the last point, shortlist in a smart way. So with this, I don't only mean exclude all the destinations that you know you can't include in your trip because your trip to Switzerland is too short. No. Try to shortlist in a way that you can combine different things in one place. For example, you know that you want to see cities, but then it's also important for you to see lakes and have a nice view with the Swiss Alps. Then you can actually do that all in one place. For example, you can travel to Thun or to Lucerne. You can enjoy these three different things in the same one place. Thun is a really beautiful city, but then you're also being able to enjoy a nice view with the lake and the Swiss Alps, the same in Lucerne. If you want to visit a village, but then it's also important for you to do hikes, see lakes, maybe even glaciers, or even travel by train, then probably Zermatt is the right destination for you. In Zermatt you can take a scenic train ride up to the Gornergrat. You'll have fantastic views with the Matterhorn. On the Gornergrat you can also see the glaciers, and you can also go for a hike. In Zermatt there's this 5 Lakes trail, it's really nice. You can also get to see glaciers from close, or you can go up to the Klein Matterhorn, enjoy a stunning 360 degrees panorama, be inside a glacier. So you see, this point is really important because you can actually combine different things into one place. Your Switzerland trip is going to be less overloaded, and with this I'm pretty sure it's going to be unforgettably beautiful. I hope with this video could help you to plan a Switzerland trip in a smart way, especially when it comes to choosing your destinations. Now if you want to know what kind of activities you can do in Switzerland, then I'm going to see you in this video. Otherwise, if you're more interested in knowing which ones are the top 10 cities of Switzerland, then I'm going to see you over there.